Alright, this one's going to be a little bit faster than normal than anticipated because it's Worlds Collide, which is actually today at the time of the recording. And I leave in about a few hours because it's in my kingdom of Houston, so this is going to be fun. Now, Worlds Collide was a little different from how they've normally done it throughout the years, you know. First, in 2019, it was an inter-brand tournament featuring wrestlers from NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live, which was running during WrestleMania weekend. This time, though, they're running a Worlds Collide event during the Royal Rumble weekend instead of a takeover. A little disappointing, but this card still looks pretty good, though. And I mean, we should have some pretty good action under our belts. So yeah, I'm CoffeeLover239. With me, as always, is Heathy. Say hi, Heathy.
Hey guys.
And without further ado, let's go ahead and get on with it. Our first match is the Imperium, the team of Walter, Fabian Eichner, Marcel Barthel, and Alexander Wolf, versus the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong in an 8-man tag team match. So, yeah, and the descriptions aren't on Wikipedia this time. Fortunately, they've got them on the WWE website themselves. NXT champion Adam Cole, Roderick Strong. Notice how he's no longer North American champion because Keith Lee beat him on the Go Home episode of NXT before this event. So yeah, Limitless finally has a title. Nice, but not so nice, but we can get into that when we get to the Rumble. And NXT Tag Champions Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish have come together. Yeah, you know they formed the Undisputed Era. The prophecy was fulfilled. All of the draped in gold. And then they had no love for the Rising brand across the pond, and once again will be out to show that their superiority is beyond dispute. NXT UK champion Walter may have been on the NXT team against Raw and SmackDown at Survivor Series 2019, but his only true allegiance remains with his Imperium cohorts. And basically, yeah, these two are going to go head to head. Yeah, one of the most anticipated showdowns, no doubt. One kick-ass stable versus another kick-ass stable. This should be absolutely awesome. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
It really is the two big bads of the NXT US and NXT UK brands, Undisputed Era and Imperium, respectively, with Undisputed Era playing a de facto faces due to, we really don't know who's a face and who the heel is. Maybe it's just my preference, because I do like Undisputed Era a bit better than Imperium, purely due to longevity factors. We could have gone several rounds for this. Could have gone Cole versus Volta, which I think something they will wait for, and Redragon versus Barthel and Eichner. As to who's going to win this, it's really a toss-up. I feel like they want to give NXT UK a good rub to show that hey, we're on NXT US's level. And I'm looking at the card, and there's not really much leeway to go to as far as who can get a win for the UK side. So I'm going to take a punt here, and this could be the main event. It has all the right aspects of it. Some of the biggest names in NXT on both brands in a big 8-man tag match. So, yeah, just probably in way of my other predictions, I'm going to go with Imperium to get a winner.
Interesting. As for me, I really don't know. Honestly, like I said, it is a toss-up. At least in terms of the only other two matches are the championship matches on one hand that we'll get into later on. Well, one of them's kind of a deadlock, but the other one, they could be kind of wild cards in determining who wins tonight's 8-man tag, but oh, it's tough. I'm wearing my Undisputed Era shirt, but now I'm tempted to pick, I don't know, fuck it, I'm going with the Undisputed Era. I mean, it's not exactly like there's too much on the line here anyways. Plus, I imagine both teams will definitely have strong showings throughout the match. But a couple other ones could possibly take it. But you know what? I'm just going to go with the Era. Undisputed Era. Our next match is Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm for the NXT Women's Championship. And I have to put emphasis on the women's because for some reason they're calling it they're taking the women's out. Okay, I know I don't have much time for this, but I need to get this off my chest. This is absolutely ridiculous, taking out women's from the women's championship. Mainly because it's damn confusing as hell. I mean, think about it. Yes, I mean, think about it. You already have Adam Cole, who's the NXT champion, and then by taking women's out, it's like, wait a minute, 2 NXT champions? Bah! No, unification intergender match. No, that's not gonna happen. Okay, let's just get on with it. For realsy, though. Among the epic past showdowns between intense competitors, Ripley has made history by emerging victorious over Storm in the finals of a tournament to be crowned the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. Ah, see, they still use women's. Alright, I'll lay off that. Anyway, Storm then regrouped and conquered Ripley in their rematch at the first NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool to seize the title in January of 2019. Ripley has since traveled across the pond to defeat the dominant Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. Oh, so you can call it... Sorry, it's just, you know... In the meantime, Storm returned to NXT UK after losing her title to Kaylee Ray and battled the scary Queen of Scots and Piper Niven in a triple threat match for the championship at TakeOver Blackpool 2, which was... Or TakeOver Blackpool 2, which was awesome. Nevertheless, as Storm prepared for the total free-for-all against her 2 former best friends, her competitive nature brought her to Full Sail University to rekindle her rivalry with Ripley and boldly challenge her for the dangerous title holder. So yeah, I mean, both these women are very damn good at what they do, quite frankly. Kind of nice for a different championship, though, and across the pond here. Not too much build-up, but then again, I know these 2 are very good at what they do, so... This should still be a really good match. Pardon the whole, trying to drop the whole women's name from the women's title aside. I can't even with this madness. What do you think?
Okay, real quick, I know we're short on time here. I'll just say this. They shouldn't be removing the women's part. I feel like they should be going the other way. Make it the NXT Women's Championship and the NXT Men's Championship. That would be much easier. As far as the match goes, I feel like the match is already predetermined in the sense that we already know that Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley have been announced for TakeOver Portland. And I don't think, well, I feel like Toni Storm will be making her way over to NXT US in the near future. In a very foreseeable future. I don't feel like this is the moment to do it. And even if it is, you don't really introduce someone to the NXT US brand, you know, by thrusting them into the main event scene with the title, not even as a challenger for the title, with the title. It feels like it's incredibly rushed if that was the case. It feels like a bit of a spoiler already, but it's not like it's going to be a bad match. I mean, we could have had Kaylee Ray versus Rhea Ripley in the champion versus champion encounter, you know, the best of both brands in the women's division going head to head. But obviously WWE, and to be honest, I feel too that there's a bit of a storyline behind this. So, you know, dating back to the NXT UK days, when Rhea Ripley was on that brand, who I think is going to win. This is why I predicted Imperium to win. I don't think NXT, especially with the 2 title matches, I don't think NXT UK are really going to take any titles there. I feel like NXT US aren't going to let up on that fact. Like, while they want to give NXT UK some leeway as, you know, as like, they want to put new eyes on the products and say, look, we're here to stay and we are, you know, we are a brand that's to be looked out for. They still want to have the NXT US as the main brand, I'd hope. So, yeah, I think this is going to be cut and dry, pretty easy. Although I think it's going to be an underrated match, maybe a match of the night, who knows. So I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley to retain.
I have to agree with you with Ripley, although currently when I look at the Portland card, it still has to be determined versus Bianca Belair. So, slight chance it could still go both ways, but me looking at it, nah, I still think it's too early for Ripley to lose the belt. Like, she's still just getting her footing with the belt itself. She's only held it for about 38 days. And, yeah, she still has some ways to catch up with some of the others. And I imagine they do want to give her a good dominating reign. Maybe not as long as Shayna Baszler had, but close enough at least where we knock out some of the others here. So I'll go with Rhea Ripley on this one. Oh boy, this next match should be an absolute beautiful. Finn Balor versus Ilya Dragunov. So NXT's Prince has been on an absolute mission since he returned to the black and gold brand and ignited a chaotic rivalry with Johnny Gargano. Meanwhile, Dragunov has been bringing his unique intensity of the world to NXT UK, most recently joining forces with Gallus in a rivalry against Imperium and defeating that faction's Alexander Wolf in a brutal no disqualification match. The ruthless Balor is on the top of his game and will stop at nothing to secure the victory. But can he contend with the completely unpredictable, menacing Muscovite? Or I can't pronounce that quite there, but what I can do is at least, say, man, this should be an excellent match. Finn Balor, with him revigorating himself to be like his old NJPW character, or close enough at least. It's the Prince. That was very exciting to see. Haven't seen too much of a Dragunov aside from when he had his debut at TakeOver Cardiff, where he answered Cesaro's open challenge, and unfortunately lost, but still had a strong showing nonetheless. Regardless, I do think this should be an outstanding match. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
This should be a really, really good match. I mean, I could see either one of these guys coming out on top and, coming out of it. If you were to say, oh, Dragunov won this match, or oh, Balor won this match, it would be okay for both cases. You have Ilya Dragunov, one of the rising stars in the NXT UK division. I believe got a victory against Alexander Wolf of Imperium in a no-holds-barred match on the second. It was the first NXT UK episode of 2020. I think it was the second. And you have Finn Balor. He's also on the rise. He got a win over Joaquin Wild earlier in the week on the most recent episode of NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Both these guys got a lot of momentum coming up against them, and if you look at it from a logical standpoint, we probably do have Ciampa and Cole for the NXT title at Portland, but after that, if it's played the situation, both Ilya Dragunov and Finn Balor are conceivably two of the guys who will be next in line for their brand's top title. So you got to feel like whoever wins gets a significant advantage in whoever's going for the main title here. Who I think's going to win? I'm kind of 50-50 on this one. Finn Balor, feel like he's in a bit of a career resurgence, a bit of a renaissance here. Dragunov, going by the previous tapings, I think the tapings happened for the episodes following Worlds Collide. I've had a look at them. I won't spoil it now. But based off that, and based off the fact that Balor is just building up a world esteem, like the momentum is, it's going to be insane heading past Portland and into whatever pay-per-view. I think it's going to be April that we do the next takeover after Portland. So that, plus I feel like NXT, like I've said recently, NXT US is going to be, coming out with the victor. If we are counting the victories like we do in Survivor Series, they will come out victorious. So I feel like all signs point to a Balor victory for me.
Well, I think I may have to agree with you there. And I mean, NXT UK is still kind of side part for the most part, because the US brand is still full forth and center with everything going on over here. I mean, them going head-to-head with AEW and all still, they probably still would want someone that at least would get the appeal. And while Dragunov still has a little ways to go, definitely tearing stuff up in the UK division, and I still see good things happening for him, I have to go with Balor as well. And who knows if he'll challenge at Portland or whenever we do get to April for a takeover at Tampa. But for me, I'm going to go with Finn Balor on this one. And our next match is a fatal four-way match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Angel Garza defending against Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Jordan Devlin versus Travis Banks. So looking at this match here, we basically kind of have the wild card in the championship match. Damn it. Ugh. Don't make me take another straight shot of Jack. It's only 1 o'clock here. I had to do it last night on my stream for calling Chad Gable by that awful name, and yeah. But what I mean is that we have two NXT guys, of course Angel Garza, the current champ, and Isaiah Swerve Scott, and we have two NXT UK guys, Jordan Devlin and Travis Banks. So it's a half and half at this point, too. Although, again, looking at the champion situation and how long he's been holding the belt, chances are it probably would still be a little too early for Garza. Well, let me get into the quick backstory here. So Garza's challengers... Oh, wait a minute. I don't think there's a whole lot of backstory here, actually, looking at this. Yeah, other than Isaiah Swerve Scott, who defeated Leo Rush and Tyler Breeze to earn the right to enter the match, as well as NXT UK's Crafty Jordan Devlin, who defeated Ligero and Travis Banks, who overcame former Cruiserweight champion the Brian Kendrick to qualify. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's whoever wins, they're going to stay on the NXT US brand. I don't, as much as ballsy as NXT are, you know, the whole conglomerate or whatever, the whole ecosystem of NXT are.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as ballsy to switch the Cruiserweight title over to an NXT UK brand. The Cruiserweight title right now is acting as sort of a de facto mid-card title for them. I feel like it's still in that phase where it's sort of getting, you know, molded into the whole aesthetic of the NXT brand. Whoever wins, I'm making a prediction here. It's going to be the show opener, and you know, if they're given 20 minutes, it's going to be 20 minutes of pure energy, pure high octane action. It's, you know, I mean, list off the names here. You know, we have Angel Garza, we have RCA Swerve Scott, we have Jordan Devlin, we have Travis Banks. I mean, when you think of these guys, you think of high energy, you know, high flying, just quick pace action. You know, just absolutely symbolise what the cruiserweights are all about, what the cruiserweight division stands for. I think, I don't know, I think Isaiah Scott specifically, he's being zoned in as the next top NXT star. I stand by that, but I don't think it's his time. And that by next big star, he could be the next cruiserweight champion to hold the title, or he could be the next NXT champion, NXT North American champion. Hell, he could probably form a tag team and be NXT tag champion. But he'll be a top breakout star. But as much as I would love for him to win the title here, I think maybe he needs to hold off a bit. And on the contrary, you know, if we're looking at Scott's trajectory here, also looking at the champ's trajectory, taking it off Garza after only a month with the title, I don't think that's the right choice. I feel like he needs to hold it at least until WrestleMania season. So
Yeah,
you know,
it'd be too early for him to lose it.
Exactly, build him up as a credible champion. So then, when the next champion takes it off him, it feels like a bigger deal. So, in conclusion, I feel like it will be Isaiah Swerve Scott's. You know, I feel like the passing of the torch or the crowning moment of him will happen. It's not like it's not going to happen. I mean, he is an absolute star. Look at him; it's going to happen. But for now, I think the champ retains. I feel like it's going to be Garza to retain.
Yeah, same here. Garza to retain, really. It's not a matter of if Scott will win. It's a matter of when. And probably we won't see that maybe till TakeOver Tampa again, because that's where a lot of, usually that WrestleMania weekend TakeOver usually gets the big changes, you know. So, yeah, it still is too early for Garza to lose. I'm sure the other two will look fine as well, but gotta go with Garza. Next up, this is going to be a wonderful tag match. DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bates. Two of the most influential tag teams in NXT UK history are going to square off. After Gargano rescued Ciampa from a beatdown at the hands of the Undisputed Era on the January 15th edition of NXT, it led the Brits to issue a challenge via Twitter, which Gargano and Ciampa were happy to accept. And then here it just gives the backstory about both teams, which I don't really need to go into too much detail because, quite frankly, their stories really just speak for themselves. And having them finally collide here, oh man, if there's one thing NXT still exceeds the main roster, it's tag team wrestling. Two legit awesome teams going up it against each other. I am so looking forward to this match. I could really say that just about every match on this card. Healy, what do you think?
I mean, to your point, the tag team, just the whole tag team scene in wrestling itself has seen an absolute resurgence in the past 5 to 10 years. You have NXT UK with the Grizzled Young Vets and Mustache Mountain. You have NXT US with DIY, the Revival. All these good teams. You have New Japan with Los Ingobernables and Bullet Club. Yeah, it's a treat to be a wrestling fan of the tag teams in 2020 right now. This match, when you look at it, this tag team match has match of the night written all over it. You look at this match, and if it wasn't for the sorry fact that Imperium and Undisputed Era's on this card, you would absolutely pin this match as a main event and also as match of the night. But
already 3 match of the night contenders in a row: women's championship action, Balor Dragunov, and now this.
It really is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment of riches, on display by NXT right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, 2 of the best teams on the NXT ecosystem right now. Each team has put on absolute clinics over the past few years, and I don't know. I mean, we mentioned when we did the NXT Takeover Blackpool predictions a few weeks back that we both felt like Mustache Mountain, or at least Tyler Bate, was on its way to on the American side of NXT, and I still stand by that opinion. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't think that unless Tyler Bate goes for a third go at Walter, there's not really much else he can do. I mean, they've been tag team champions. Tyler Bate's been the NXT UK champion. There really isn't much else he can do. I mean, 27, I think he's talented enough. He's very talented, definitely, so that he can make a mini singles career before he joins Tyler Bate at Full Sail. But yeah, I mean, I think we all know that Ciampa's on a one-way ticket to the NXT title shot against Adam Cole, Gargano. Don't know what he's going to be doing after this, but I don't think that really factors into it. But DIY, the history they've had, them reuniting is a big deal, and why reunite them to lose doesn't really make much sense.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're going on storyline logic here, if they were to lose, you can tell their friendship isn't watertight. It's very fragile. If they were to lose, you'd expect one to tell the other, and I'm just basing this on storyline facts here. Like, I don't know, I feel like Tyler Bate is having some sort of a swan song right now. DIY reuniting, losing on the first match back would not really do them any favours, especially Ciampa. So, while Mustache Mountain would be a good pick here, I think I'm going to give the edge to DIY to get the win here.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. And Ciampa never really fully lost the NXT Championship definitively. And it sucks that he had to go down like that, all that neck issue, because they thought, hey, let's just call them up on the fly here while they're still rivals and still champions of their own brand. Yeah, and that bit them in the ass, really, and probably aggravated some stuff further, but still, yeah. So Ciampa, he's back with a vengeance, quite frankly, and Gargano also has a match with Balor as well at TakeOver Portland. So he's also got to look good enough going into that as well. I imagine both of them will be looking strong after their matches, Balor and Gargano. So I'm going to go with DIY on this one. And our last match is a pre-show match. I know, but unfortunately, they've been doing this a little bit more than normal at times as of late. Looking at the whole NXT stuff, if I could just find it here. I think the last one must have been at come on, damn it, I don't have much. War Games 1. Yeah, there was a pre-show match at War Games 1. It was Angel Garza and Isaiah Swerve Scott. But that was like the 5th out of a 4-match card. Still, though, 2 good women, so this should be good. Yeah, 2 Daredevil superstars against each other. Ray's proven she'll do anything to reach the top, throwing caution to the wind in War Games, or taking advantage of the fractured friendship between Toni Storm and Piper Niven to retain her title. And Yim has shown a similar fiery passion inside the squared circle, going all out in a ladder match against Io Shirai and sending herself crashing through tables in pursuit of payback on Dakota Kai. Yeah, I pretty much 2 Daredevils going at it against each other. Such a shame we don't have a stipulation for this, so we could really get some more Daredevil-ish things, but it is still probably going to be part warm-up, of course, because, well, pre-show usually is. So, yeah, should still be good, though. Heathy, who do you think's going to win?
A lot of people are classing this as a throwaway match, but what a lot of people don't know is that they were a tag team around 2014, 2015, I believe.
Really?
They also had a bit of a feud for the fledgling promotion Southside Wrestling in 2016.
Wow.
So Mia Yim and Kaylee Ray do have a bit of history with each other, but it's really the hardcore fans who would know about this.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're casual or just someone who doesn't really know about the history of these 2 women before they signed with WWE, you've got to know this is going to be still a pretty good match. Both are good workers. On pre-show, indicating that not really much is going to be taking place there. It's just going to be one of them crowd pleaser matches, to your point, where it's going to get the crowd amped up, excited. It's going to be a pretty good start to the show, but then again, it could have easily been on the main card. It's the 2 high caliber women's wrestlers. No, just 2 high caliber wrestlers. Forget the women's part. Yeah, they do have a bit of history in NXT too. If you remember, Kaylee Ray did cost Mia Yim the ladder match against Io Shirai on, I believe it was in November.
It was like for a War Games advantage. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so there's a bit of bad blood there. Especially after Mia Yim went through so much in that match. Got a bloody nose, maybe being broken.
Mm-hmm.
So for Kaylee Ray to put her through that, there really is some animosity between the 2. If none of these women were champion, it would be a toss-up. I wouldn't know. But since the NXT UK Women's Champion is fighting just an NXT US wrestler who's not a champion, I believe I'm going to go with, and it's the term coined by WWE, champion's advantage. I think this is the match where we're going to see NXT UK wrestler get a comeuppance over the American counterpart. So I think I'm going to give this to Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. I mean, yeah, with her being champion and all, she still has to look good for whatever else is going on the NXT UK side of things still at the moment. Mia Yim doesn't really have too much else lined up at the moment from what I can see, so she could probably afford to take the L here for the most part. Kind of sucks, but, at the end of the day, someone wins, someone loses, so yeah, I'm going with Kaylee Ray on this one as well. And that's basically it. It might not be a takeover, but god damn it, this card still looks promising. And I still only have like a few hours left, or a couple hours I should say, left before the doors open actually, so we're going to have to bang this one out soon. Oh, we've still got Royal Rumble coming as well. We're going to be working on that for the next hour or so, because right now it's 1:55 p.m. in my neck of the woods, so yeah, going to work on that as well, and yeah, this will be something. So want to thank Heathy here for being with me as always. Say bye, Heathy.
Thanks for having me. Can't wait for the next part.
No problem. And we're going to go do the next part right now for Royal Rumble. So go check that out when you're done here.